Yeah, so so one of the strategies we use to get clients or to get bookings, first of all, is talking to people in the chat. Um, so yeah, here's a little bit about how to do that. So first of all, it's important to keep track of everybody because there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to engage with. So make a Google Sheet and keep track of at least the people who respond, because there will be also a lot of people who don't respond, so we don't have to keep track of those. But have a Google Sheet and write down the ones that respond, and so that you can follow up with them, because one of the most important thing to get bookings is actually to follow up with people. You have to follow up on average 7 times before you usually get a booking. So keep following up, but in a non annoying way. I'll get more into that soon. Um, yeah, so you can write down, of course, when you message them. First of all, we send people a friend request on Facebook, for instance. Or on LinkedIn, then there'll be a connection request, and then wait for them to reply and to accept you as a friend. Because if you send them a message before they are a friend, then it's going to go in the spam filter. What you can do is go to the profile, send them a friend request, and then engage with their content, like some of their content, put nice comments on some of their posts, and then they're more likely to accept you as a friend. And then once they accepted you as a friend, then you want to start to engage with them, and it's not going to be some sales pitch right away. It's like a real conversation. And then you want to write down who you are engaging with, and then also who you have sent, for instance, a VSL. I'm going to teach you also how to make a short VSL, a short little video that you can send to people. You can also actually engage with them with a small little video. Simply, instead of a text message, then just pop up your phone and send them a video, a short little video like, hi, my name is this and this. I saw that you are in this and this group also. Or that if you made some kind of post, you can say, I saw that you engaged with my post. And then ask a question so that they will have to reply to you. Always end with a question. Yeah, and then write down who you're engaging with, and once you get so far, then also who you have sent the calendar link to, the booking link. But that's not the first thing. First of all, you should engage with them, and follow up if they don't reply. Yeah, so keep track of how many initiated messages, follow-ups, and bookings links you have sent out. Um, yeah. Um, this is also something that I'm using for my appointment setters. So there I always ask them to get a screenshot of their bookings, but of course you don't need that when it's for yourself. Um, uh, But once they have booked, then it's of course also good to write down when they have booked. Of course, you have it in your Calendly, but if you don't have your Calendly set up so it sends them email reminders, I think on the free plan it sends them one email reminder, but it can be good to send them one more or a message also, a text message on Facebook, for instance, because not everybody checks their emails, just to make sure that they show up on the call. Yeah, and then I also, when I had the free plan, I also sent them a text message like half an hour before the call. Um, And then also after the call, if they didn't buy, then you can also follow up with them, like maybe you talked about something on the call. Maybe they asked to see your website or something else. Then you can follow up something that is relevant to the call, of course. Or if they just ask them if they had any questions. Usually, a lot of times people will say, "I'll think about it." So then you can follow up and say, "So, did you think about it? What questions do you have?" Um, And a little tip that you also use in sales is to ask instead of asking what questions, no, instead of asking, do you have any questions? Then you ask them, what questions do you have? Because if you ask them, do you have any questions? Then you're more than likely going to get a no. But if you ask them, what questions do you have? Then you're more likely to actually get a question because they probably do have something but they're not going to be so open about it. But if you ask directly, what questions do you have, instead of asking, do you have any questions? Then you're more likely to actually get the questions, and you want the questions because those are the things that are holding them back from buying from you. Um, yeah, but we'll get into that more when we're talking about sales. But actually, the DMs is also sales. The DMs, talking to people in the DMs is very much sales. You're selling a call with you. So have that in mind when you talk to people in the DM, in the chats. You're selling a call. You're not selling your program. So the goal is just to get a call. That's it, first of all. Yeah, please interrupt me if you have any questions. What questions do you have? So, yeah, what do you want me to talk about? I have a lot of documents about this actually. Do you want to talk about how to find people on Facebook and LinkedIn? We use mostly Facebook and LinkedIn, but you can use the other platforms also. It also depends on what niche you have. Okay, let's do this one. Organic lead sourcing. So yeah, there's all these platforms. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, the former Twitter, School, the new platform also, TikTok, Discord, and Reddit. I don't really use Discord and Reddit, don't know it too well. But I know the other ones, but we use mostly Facebook and LinkedIn for finding clients. Instagram can be good for some niches, especially some like fitness or something that is very visual. Instagram is more visual platform. So for coaches, I feel it's mostly Facebook and LinkedIn, unless you're a fitness coach. Um, so if you want to, I can send all this to you. Oh, somebody wrote in the chat here. Let me see. How what? You can unmute and talk. Ahuga? What did you want to, how? Okay, yeah, that's actually what we're going into here. So, yeah, good. Um, yeah, so first of all, what is a lead? So a lead is just someone who is interested. Um, yeah, that's it actually. So on Facebook, of course, is actually not made for lead sourcing. It's not made for us to find prospects, to find people, to be messaging a lot of people. Facebook doesn't like that actually. But when we do it in organic way. Facebook and all the social media platforms, they're made for social interactions. So if we do it according to their guidelines and we do social interactions and we're not spamming people with sending a lot of messages, then it's okay. Because if we send a lot of messages, then our accounts will get, first of all, blocked for a limited time. If you keep doing it, then it will be taken down actually. So be careful with that. I do have somewhere how many messages you can send. That's I'm getting to this. So just keep that in mind that don't send too many messages, especially when you have a new account. Newer accounts, they are more limited than if you had an account for a long time, because then it's like Facebook has approved it. They're more cautious with a new account, and that goes for all the platforms actually. It's not just Facebook. So we want to engage with people in a non-spammy way, real in human interaction, having real conversations with them. And that's also what people react to most. None of us like these spammy messages that we get all the time. We like when people are truly engaged. That's also why personal messages like a little video, or it can also be a little voice message, works really well. It's more personalized. So yeah, here it's about this about that I just said. First, send a friend request, and then wait for them to accept you. And not everybody will accept you. That's just how it is. And you can send some more friend requests. But here also, don't send too many every day. What you can do is have more than one account. Our appointment setters usually have more than one account. But I think you can only have two accounts in your own name. You have to have it in different names. I think you have to use different email addresses. So you can, if you have a middle name, you can have it under your first name and middle name, and the second account can be first name and last name or so, because you have to be able to verify it with your passport or driver's license if they ask for it. So you can't make any fake accounts and fake names. And it's not good to use a page. A Facebook page doesn't work as well as a profile, because sometimes you need to go into groups to find prospects, and some groups don't allow pages in groups. And when you're also posting on a page, it has very, very limited reach. It has more reach when you do it from your profile. And more people also react to a profile rather than a page. And the Facebook's algorithm is really, really smart and intelligent. It detects spam really, really fast. So we don't want to be spamming. We want to be actually engaging with people. So here's an example of what you can do. Day one, source leads and send friend requests. And then the next day, then you can start to engage with the people who accepted your friend request. And what I recommend is because this is can be a little bit difficult to get started on, then get started and make it a goal that you do at least 5 outreaches every day, and make it every single day so it becomes a habit, because it's much easier to do something once it becomes a habit. Otherwise, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of procrastination and pushing it in front of you, and then it's never going to happen sometimes. So it becomes much easier if you just do it, even if it's just a couple of messages every day. Just make it into a habit. And in the beginning, it will also be difficult to know what to say. Then really just send me a message, send me a screenshot of the conversation. I'll help you. I'll also give you lots of documents about what you can say, examples. And once you have done it a little bit, then it becomes easier because you get to know your niche, you get to know how to engage with people. It can be a little bit, yeah, difficult and overwhelming, and you feel that you are trespassing or so maybe in the beginning. But it's really just engaging people. We don't want to make them mad, or we don't want to be annoying. So yeah, so first of all, send them these friend requests, and when they accept, then send an initial message, a video or a text or a voice message is good. Something about, oh, I love this and this that you said on this and this post, something personalized, or it can be something related to their profile, like, oh, I see you're from this and this place. I have been there also, or I see that you are this and this coach also, or you're in this group. I'm also there. Or then ask a question. Um, yeah. So here's another suggestion. Like morning, you can do 15 friend requests and make one post. Do 10 likes and 5 comments. So like I said, you can like and comment on people's posts. Makes it, that's also engagement. Makes it more likely that they'll actually respond to you. And do that in the afternoon or evening, depending on how much time you have. It can be good to put some time aside, set a certain time, say to yourself at this time for half an hour, I'm going to do this, and then stick to it. um, so here we have a platinum versus bronze prospects. So platinum prospects, those are people who are specifically explicit, explicit, explicitly advertising their services on their bio and website and contact info. And those are good for outreach and should be treated as a priority. And then there's bronze prospects. They don't explicitly advertise their services. This is if you're looking for B2B, if you're doing B2B, like I'm doing, I'm servicing coaches, then this would be for my niche. If most of you are looking for not businesses, but consumers, it's called. Yeah, then it can be people who are in groups that has to do with your the kind of coaching that you're doing. So if you are into spiritual coaching, then it will be in groups that has to do with spirituality. But they can also have something on their profile about that they are spiritual or something like that. So here we go to Facebook groups, and that is really the best way to find leads. There are many other ways. So like I said, you just find groups. You can search groups in the search bar. You can just use a search name like spirituality, or it can also be maybe meditation, something that could be related to your niche. Or mindset, or whatever it is. Ask me if you need help with that. I have some suggestions. Um, you can also use the search bar and simply search in the search bar. I can show you on my profile actually. Yeah, so you can search here in the search bar. And there you then both groups and people are going to come up that has this in their bio or in their name or so. Yeah. So here there's everything that has to do with spirituality. This is a page, I think. Yeah, it's a page, it's just called spirituality. That's just a page. And then there's a post about spirituality, then there's people who have something about spirituality in their bio. And there's pages here, down here. And then, of course, groups. So what you can do then is, of course, ask to become a member of the group. Wait until you are a member. Let me go. This is actually my group. So let's go into that. And what you can do then is in there you can make a post, and then engage with everybody who are engaging with your post. So that by that I mean everybody who's commenting, but also everybody who's liking your post, because they are also showing some kind of interest. So if they just like it, then again send them a friend request first, and then when they accept, then you can send them a message like, "Thank you for liking my post. What did you like about it?" Just to get a conversation started. Or you can actually go into all the members of a group, because everybody here, they showed some kind of interest in this group. So there's lots of prospects and groups. But the same thing again, start by sending them a friend request, wait for them to accept, and then like and comment on their post, and then send them a message. Any questions? Just interrupt. No? Okay, let's go back to the document. Yeah, and it can be good to target not so big groups, because in big groups could be a lot of people messaging them, and yeah. But again, if you do it in a nice human way and not spammy, then it will work. Um, Of course, when you're looking for people in the groups or anywhere else, then of course look at their profile. Look if if you think it could be someone who could be your ideal target, ideal client. Because even though they are all in that group, it may not all be your ideal client, of course. So you probably have an idea of who's your ideal client, or we're going to definitely talk about that. There's also paid groups. For instance, yeah, there are some paid groups, for instance, from products or software. They sometimes have paid groups. Well, also coaches or anybody else can have paid groups. And if you want to, then you can join a paid group. Maybe it's not too expensive, because that's where you will definitely find the best leads. But of course, it will cost you some money. Yeah, and then, like I said, software groups. You can also look at your competitors. I mean, if you have a competitor that's doing the same thing that you're doing, then you can engage with their followers, because their followers have shown interest in exactly that thing that your competitor is doing. And if you're doing the same thing, then they should also be a good client for you. So just because they're following that other competitor, that doesn't mean that it's that they are their client. So they could become your client instead. Yeah, and also in groups you can post, like I said, post a lead magnet where you offer them something for free. So it should be something that has to do with your niche, of course. And everybody who are interested in getting that free thing that you have, there you can say post a comment below and I'll send it to you, and then you'll send it to them, but then you also have a perfect way to engage with them, and they'll be more open to talk to you once because you're giving them something. That is reciprocity, when people give you something, then you want to give them something back. So that's a great way to do it, to give something for free, and then they'll be more open to talking to you. You can also look at ads, actually. If there's some ads that has to do with your niche, then you can also engage with people who are engaging with the ads, who are liking the ads, not the people who are giving them a mad face, because some people don't like ads, so they just put a mad face there. Um, then there's, of course, appointment setters. So you can also go into pages, do the same, engage with people who are following that page when it has to do with your niche. And you find it by looking in the search bar under a keyword that has to do with your niche. And here's you can use influencers. That's kind of the same as um, targeting the followers of your competitors. That's the same way. Yeah. Okay, now we're going into LinkedIn. Yeah, here's actually the guidelines. So you can send 40 connection requests per day, maximum 200 per week. If you're using Sales Navigator, you can do a lot more. But on LinkedIn, you really have to watch out. They're very strict with how many messages you can send and how many connection requests. So it can be good to have a Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. Or you can just do it slowly, which is also good. It's actually the same way on LinkedIn. You can search for groups on LinkedIn. You can also search for pages. So it's pretty much the same way on LinkedIn. Any questions? I think I bombarded you a lot. So yeah, let's have some Q&A. No questions? Did you try any of this? Please just unmute.
I didn't try any yet.
You didn't try? Okay. Well, what did you do? Did you do any kind of try to get bookings yet?
I mean, people have reached out in the past. I tried with some setters, but I never really stuck to any of it, which I have to be more consistent.
Yeah.
And I hate the cold messaging, the cold DMing. Like I feel like it's spammy, but I
Yeah.
guess you're right.
Yeah. I know it is a mindset block. But that is the fastest way to get clients. And you just have to not think of it as spammy, because you can do it in a non-spammy way. It is engaging with people,
Right,
being really genuine, interested
right,
in what they're doing,
right.
which is requires a lot more, because you have to engage with that person emotionally, actually. So it requires a lot more, but it also works a lot better.